to the JTrain podcast. It's JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. I say it every episode. Let me say it again. Thank you. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a viewer. If you're watching on YouTube, we got full episodes on YouTube. And if you're not a part of YouTube yet, how about you just subscribe? It's there for you for the if and when. There might be a day where you got your computer, your laptop on your bed next to you, you're hungover. You're like, let me just look at Jared and his fantastic guests discuss other people's problems so I don't have to think about my own problems. That is my little mini commercial for YouTube, but I want to thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of the show, sharing. You guys are amazing sharers, making your Instagram story, all that good stuff. I'm on the road. If you're listening right now, it's a Monday. I'm taking a little break. Then I go to Vancouver. If you're out in the west coast of Canada, Toronto, I'm still like going crazy about the Toronto date. So Vancouver, if you were in Toronto, you went to the show, tell your Vancouver friends. I don't even know if that's how it works. Like, I guess I know people in San Francisco, but I don't know if I would be like, yeah, get on the horn. Oh my God, I got to call the West Coast. Tell them about this young kid. He's got the jokes. You know, I don't know. So, but maybe you know people in Vancouver. I'm going to be in Irvine, California. Going to be in Indianapolis, Spokane. Hit that bell, Shelby. We have added Spokane to the calendar. Spokane, I'm coming. Oklahoma City. Then we start Europe. That's right. Putting on my beret. Going to put on my capri pants. Head to Europe. Dublin, Belfast. London for 2 dates. I think the second show might have sold out. The first, so I'm not sure. I got a DM, but sometimes you get a DM. I mean, you get DMs from any crazy out there. So I don't know. Maybe they're done. Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin for 2 shows, Oslo, and then I come back to the States to go to the Oslo of America, Nashville, Tennessee. So jaredfreid.com for tickets. Assemble that group chat. Very excited about today's guest. New to the show. Hit that bell again, Shelby. New guest alert. Hilarious comic. Has a amazing one-woman show called Fixed. Emily Wilson, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm so
such a
excited
pleasure
to be doing this. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So you do the combo of you are a performer. It's comedy. It's music.
Yes.
What were you always a music? And the show is about you going on the F Factor.
X Factor.
Yes. F Factor.
Yes.
I'm referencing an ad that we have later. The X Factor show, which I've watched many episodes of.
Yeah. So I was on season 1 of the X Factor USA when I was 15.
And yeah, X Factor, if I remember correctly, was an English talent show.
Yes, that's where One Direction got their start.
I remember this because listen, I have been watching. I have to admit now. I don't like to. I don't like to be self-referential, but I guess this is called the JTrain podcast, which is more self-referential than that. Yeah. But I have watched every reality show. Yeah, like I am any ad. I was to be gotten.
Yes,
so to speak. So I think X Factor was a product of American Idol being a big hit.
Yeah, and then I think it was like Simon Cowell left American Idol, but he was still doing the UK X Factor, and then so I think he brought the X Factor over to America, brought in Paula Abdul, Nicole Scherzinger, the whole lot. But it got canceled after 3 seasons here.
And it was like an NBC version, like American Idol.
It was Fox. American Idol, I think American Idol had just moved to ABC. Something where it was like a competitor.
Yes. This was Simon going out on his own.
Yes.
For his own show where he owned probably more of it, probably made $1 billion. And so you go on season 1 of the X Factor, and the premise of the X Factor to me, the reason I was like my reality sensors get tingled is they had the X's where they would hit a button.
No, see, that's The Voice. Or no, that's...
No, the X Factor, they would... The X above your head,
That's Britain's Got Talent.
So what was the X Factor?
The X Factor, there's nothing... It's basically...
I thought that... Because of the X, I thought it was like...
Yeah, that was... But that was not... It's not X Factor.
Okay, so what was the gimmick?
The gimmick... There was no... Well, the only difference between X Factor and American Idol was that on X Factor, you could have groups... And you could be like, each judge became a mentor later. Like the phases were different. So like,
I got you.
Once you there's like the round after the boot camp round is judges' homes, and so each judge is assigned a category of like boys, girls, groups, and over 30s.
Okay.
And then so each judge like mentors their groups throughout the final rounds.
So who is your so you go on the show. You're season 1.
Yes.
You go on as and I know a little bit.
Yeah.
as a child.
Yes, I was 15. I went on in a duet with my best friend,
Okay.
Austin. And we called ourselves Awesome. That was our
Love it.
That was our band name. And we went on the show. We auditioned. This doesn't spoil much because it's pretty soon into my show that you hear. But basically, the judges loved him and hated me, and like threatened to split us up at the audition, and made this like whole
On TV.
On TV, yeah.
So
and
they
aired
look at
that
a
and everything.
15-year-old duet.
Yeah.
And they go, we don't know what to do with you. We got to get rid of this, this problem in the group.
Yes,
being
me
you.
in my like white hat and ballet flats. I mean, this was like right after Justin Bieber had come up, and he was like hot, and if you can call a 15-year-old kid hot. And I think they looked at him and they were like, he would sell out stadiums on his own. What's she doing here?
It is such a weird thing that they're looking with dollar signs in their eyes.
Yeah.
And we're all just like at home watching, going, not even seeing where they're coming from. Like in our eyes, it's just like, well, they can't win with both of them.
Yeah. And also it was like, this was 2011. So it was like still this era of, I feel like reality TV now, we kind of watch like understanding how fucked up it is.
Right.
And we kind of enjoy that. And like, we all know that there's like, it's not real. It's just like fun to watch. But I think this was still the era of like the hopeful dreamer of like,
right.
And
you're going to, the whole, sorry to interrupt, but the hopeful dreamer of like, you could be Justin Bieber.
You could be Justin Bieber, and audience like we were still like laughing at people who were bad or who got like made fun. Like this
William
was like
Hung.
Susan Boyle,
Right.
like oh my god, she's ugly and can sing, like and that was like this was that time.
It was an open thing we would say.
Yeah, no, it was truly
ugly
like,
and can sing. We would go, wow,
look at her. Who knew?
People with bad faces can sing. What? Yeah.
So this like I was right at the end of that era where it was like acceptable and the norm to like enjoy seeing people suffer on these shows.
And I guess as crazy as it sounds, enjoy watching a 15-year-old suffer.
No, there were 12-year-olds on the show. The age limit, the age you could be to get on, at least for the first season, was 12.
This is amazing. So your one-woman show or one-person show is really telling the story of this? Is that what this is?
Yes, it is. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to spoil too much because there's a twist in it. But I wound up making it to the top 12 finals. So I made it to the live shows.
Who was your mentor?
Paula Abdul.
And do you and Paula keep up?
No.
What was Paula like? What Paula had this like frenetic energy.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how she is?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. She was like so not a person to me. She was like, I just remember when the time we spent with her, she was just like a pretty face and heels, which sounds so fucked up. But I was so young, and she was like celebrity. Like I was just so like wow, and she was so tiny, so I don't really remember anything about her personality.
Well, I guess on those
famous.
shoots, I would assume, having been on a shoot of some sort, I've been around that they basically like keep you in a stall, and then they go, all right, bring out Paula.
Yeah.
Like like you might be, a set for TV or whatever is such like there is a very big delineation of like, who's a higher celeb and who's a lower celeb.
Yeah.
So I would understand that they're like, yeah, bring out the kids. We'll get them all set up. And then they'll have you all set up at a house that is quote unquote hers.
Right. Not.
And then they go, okay, we only get 10 minutes of Paula, and then they can bring her out, and everything's made easy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't really get to like. It's not like she's sitting there with you in between stuff. Going,
no.
Ugh, can you believe how long this is taking? Like,
yeah, none of that. And especially because I was in a group, it was just like, and we were kids. Like, there's just no. But they like she was meant to be like choreographing our like dances and stuff, and we like worked with a choreographer, and then they'd bring her in.
Right.
They'd bring cameras in, like Paula working with the groups, and then she'd leave, and that was.
And then the real choreographer would come back and go, okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, kind of that sort of thing, which is not surprising. Like I don't feel cheat. Like that was obviously that's how it works. Yeah.
Were your parents pushing against this? Like, are we as far as like, are you like? You come off. I mean, I don't mean this is bad. You feel like drama school, like you'd be in the arts section of the high school. So like, it doesn't seem weird to me that you would at that age. Knowing you now in the little amount that I know you, that you would like be be like, yeah, I want to go on this show?
Yeah,
or
no.
was this like family was like involved?
Not really. So yeah, I would like do the plays and stuff in middle school, and I was and I was clearly into musical theater, but I was more of like a YouTube kid. Like I was like I was more into like singing in the pop sense and less in the Broadway sense. And me and Austin had this like YouTube channel, so my parents always knew I was like we were making covers all the time and stuff. So they just thought it was cool. Like they didn't. To me, it was like I'm about to make my dreams come true. To them, it's like Emily's gonna be on TV.
Right.
I'm from New Jersey, and like they're, you know, I didn't grow up in a very artistic household by any means. Grew up Republican. Like it was just like, hey, cool, she's gonna be on TV. Simon Cowell.
So you and Austin, your friend, you guys like get on the train and go to New York for the audition? Like,
no, so it was in Newark, but he grew up like going on auditions since he was like 5 years old. He like grew up, you know, very show businessy. And so I would always like go and like his parents knew what the deal was. Right. And so we like woke up at 4 a.m. and went and waited in line in Newark, New Jersey with like thousands of people and like auditioned and, you know, kept getting through and
See, like as a kid, I get that. That's like a fun Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, those stakes are so low.
Yeah.
I mean, now you probably didn't realize like these are going to be just on YouTube forever. I mean, none of us really realized at the time like this is all in ink.
Yeah.
But like I think someone once told me, they were like, I was like, what's Kelly? They were just convinced Kelly Clarkson couldn't have been a normal person. And I was like, why? And they're like, she waited in line for 17 hours to basically do a lottery ticket.
Right.
Like to be able to scratch off a ticket. And I go, I guess I never thought of it. Like what makes a person wait in line?
Yeah. No, if you looked at the line of people auditioning for the show, it looks like a bunch of Sims that you clicked randomize on. Like it's like just a line of like the freakiest people.
That is a hilarious description. You're right. And it's like, they're like, you know, if you ever work on a show, it's like there's background actors. There's people that are like, you know, I'll be in the background. It's the clue board.
Yeah. It's never, it's like it's those types of people who are like waking up to go do something like that is like not the norm.
Well, it's amazing. I want everyone to go check out Emily. You put on a great show in New York that I've done.
Yes, the Red Room. Tuesdays at the Red Room.
Tuesdays at the Red Room.
Yes,
it's a
every
fun,
week.
like it's every week.
It's every week.
That is a fun show that makes you feel like you're doing something different in New York that no one knows about. And
that's cool.
Yeah, right?
Thanks. Like I'm glad. Yeah.
That's because you're upstairs, you're in a cool space, you're singing.
Yeah.
Like Emily's a fantastic comic performer. It's really a great show. So all of you guys go check out at the Real Emily Wilson.
Yes.
It is a mouthful of an Instagram handle. But it will be in the description. I'll be posting it on my Instagram. And then if you're going to be in San Francisco, she's doing her show called Fixed. It's all about your experience on the X Factor. February 10th, San Francisco. I know we have San Francisco people. Go check it out. Also, London, March 13th through the 18th. Go, go, go. Go check out Emily Wilson. Fantastic show. Let's get into the show. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get to the emails. But before that, we're your sponsor. Factor's ready-to-eat meals save you time and energy so you can tackle everything on your to-do list. Factor shops, preps, cooks, and delivers to your door so you can enjoy chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals minus the hassle. These fresh, never-frozen meals are delicious and nutritious. All of that is true. Here's the most important part. If you're looking to get healthy, here's what I am a person looking to get healthy every Monday, and then that wanes throughout the week. Here's what Factor does for you. When you cook for yourself and you try to stay healthy, you don't know the portions. One, you don't know the portions. Tough to cook for one, tough to buy for two. Two, you don't know how to be creative. No, you don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know grilled chicken, you know whole wheat pasta. That's about all you know. That's all I know. This is going to give you creative solutions to your issue. Your issue is, I want to eat healthy every night. This is a creative solution. They're going to come with different meals that are going to keep you on it longer than you would if you had done it yourself with grilled chicken and whole wheat pasta every night. So they have calorie smart keto options. Factor meals are perfectly portioned to keep you on track with your goals. Factor now offers 34 meals per week. See? Count the amount of meals you know how to cook. You're done it too. You've done it too. 34 meals per week. Over 3 dozen add-on options, sweets, smoothies, juices, so much more. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared by their team of chefs ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Head to factormeals.com/JTrain50 and use code JTrain50 to get 50% off your first box. 50%. It's free money, people. That's code JTrain50 at factormeals.com/JTrain50 to get 50% off your first box. Love that. You ready, Emily?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay. Hosting friends at my inaccessible apartment. Okay. Dear Jared and guests, first off, I love the podcast. I went to L.A. I ended up going to see Fahim Anwar at the Comedy Store because I had heard him on JTrain. That's what it's all about.
That's cool.
That makes me feel good. When people say they came to my show, I get it. I never shut the fuck up. You saw someone on the show. You went and saw him. Go see Emily Wilson.
That's
go
great.
see Fix. This is what it's all about.
Love
Okay, I'm 29. Moved back to my hometown. Have been trying to make friends new and old. I ran into a woman I went to college with at a store. We exchanged numbers. I invited her and a few other people out to see a buddy's band play. I had a good time with her and would like to hang out again. I just moved into a new apartment and I like to host. The problem is that my apartment is on the second floor of a fourplex and she is disabled and walks using a walker. I don't know her well enough to know how she manages a flight of stairs. How do I go about this? I don't want to invite her and her boyfriend, and I don't want to not invite her. I was like, I don't want to invite her and her boyfriend. Fuck them. I'm done. Okay, that's a weird way to go. I don't want to not invite her and her boyfriend. I don't want to make a bigger deal out of it than it might actually be. And I don't want to invite her but not mention the inaccessibility.
Right.
This is a huge problem socially. I totally understand the uncomfortable nature of this situation because you like this person. You don't want to be the person that goes too much.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the person that doesn't do enough. But this is a human being that's living. They're okay.
Yeah,
they're living their life. My other thought is that there's a small shared courtyard with a table between my fourplex building, the one next door, and the garage apartment behind us with a flat walking path to it. But it's effectively unusable because this is where all 10 trash cans for the unit live. Not exactly an ideal hangout spot as it stands. That's a very sitcom solution to this problem.
Yeah.
Right? Couldn't you imagine Doug Heffernan on King of Queens?
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch it. It's one of I love King of Queens.
Yeah.
I can imagine him being like, we're going to do it outside, and then like hilarity ensues.
All the trash.
What's that? Yeah, beehive drops down, the trash cans fall over, the woman's with the walker. She's like, why are we out here? He's like, I just didn't know. And then the song plays.
Yep.
The moral of the story.
They resolve. Yes.
Right. So not exactly an ideal hangout spot as it stands. I could talk to the neighbors and or property manager to figure out where to move them, which I guess I should do anyways because it's wasted space we're all paying for. This would mostly fix the stairs issue, but would still leave my friend without easy access to a bathroom. Anyway, I would love to get a second opinion on wording the issue to her and how to make things easier if I can. I feel like this is probably simple and I'm just making it complicated. You know what? It's not simple. I understand. I understand the feeling of like, I want to be a good person. I don't want to be. I love that they have the best of intentions.
Yes.
What do you think, Emily Wilson?
Well, as a born and raised Jewish girl from New Jersey, I always think honesty is the best policy. And I think when you're building a relationship, if you set the precedent of like you're going to break the uncomfortable territory. I would imagine, I don't know, I can't speak because I'm able-bodied, but I would imagine that I would want someone to say, hey, forgive me if this is weird or if I shouldn't ask this, but I just want to make sure, like, I have a flight of stairs. Is that uncomfortable for you? I'd love to invite you. Like, if you tell them, honestly, like, I want to invite you over, but I want to make sure I'm not infringing on you. But if this is totally not even a problem at all, let me know. I just want to be respectful, but I'm not sure the right way to go about this. I would love receiving that honesty. Like, thank you for addressing it. And thank you for acknowledging it and for asking.
Well, I love the way you started it. Forgive me. Let's start hat in hand.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole. I'm the worst. Forgive me if what I'm saying is the most awful thing you've ever heard.
Right.
And then now let me say something that might be awful.
Right.
Because that's how every I don't want to offend you. But, you're like, here we go. Here we go. They're going to talk about my weight. It's like, but I'm happy you're here for this question.
Yeah.
How old are you, Emily?
I am 26 years old.
26.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 37, and I don't think we're like 100 years apart.
No.
I hope I don't look like old man River over here.
No.
But I would say like, I feel like there was like this like weird divide of like, I feel like you were coached up on how to talk to people in the way that like is appropriate. Like I don't know why this wasn't like in my like I'm like looking at Susan Boyle being like, oh look at fucking she can sing. Like I'm like an idiot. And I feel like there's a generational divide on like how to like walk through these things. Yeah. Because sometimes I go to like I meet younger people and I'm like, man, everything out of my mouth sounds like the most horrible, dumb thing. Right. And you get self-conscious in the way that this person is. So I do understand, like, do you feel that way or am I putting that on you?
No. I feel like I'm in like the in-between generation where like the pendulum started swinging all the way the other way. Okay. Where everybody's too careful and too afraid to say anything. And then you get stuck because then there's like elephants in the room all the time or you just make things awkward. And so I feel like as a child, I was more on your end. And then I start as a teen and into my, I don't know, probably more into my college years. I think high school was brutal. But then it became everybody's too afraid to say anything because they don't want to offend.
Right. And then you end up offending more.
Because you're not addressing it. Yeah.
Right. It's like a dishonesty. Right. In being so nice that you're dishonest.
Right. And I mean, you said it yourself. If you picture the sitcom episode of like, picture not bringing it up at all, going out into the patio with the trash cans, and then you just make it so much worse because then, should they have to use the bathroom or anything, you wind up having to be like, I just didn't want to ask. And it's like,
it ends in disaster.
Yeah.
My friends used to always say that I always use I choose the sitcom route rather than the real route. Yeah. And I do that in relationships a lot where I'm like, oh, well, we'll just go a month of dating, kind of, and then at the end of the month, they'll be like, I don't know, maybe we should break up. And I'm like, oh, really? We should? I would go that Doug Heffernan route more. And I think what you're saying is correct. I think like, hey, I think it could be a text. It could be a call. Yeah. Hey, I want to invite you and your boyfriend over. I live in a fourplex. Forgive me if this is like totally like rude, but I want to make sure we are being honest with each other. Yeah. And I just don't know what accommodations I can make to make everything at my apartment as good for you as it can be. Yeah. Like,
I think honesty and vulnerability, human beings never respond meanly to that.
Right. It's funny because I started doing this podcast like a decade ago. Yeah. And like when you said 2011 was when you went on the show, I'm like, oh my God, I was a year away from starting the JTrain podcast. Okay, so
I was learning geometry.
Right. So, but when Jordana and Sammy and Lena Betches were like, hey, we want to start a podcast with a guy and female perspective on dating, we started You Up. I remember being like, yeah, I'm down. And I had like I had like a good 5 years of practicing like how to say certain things. I'm sure I sounded garbage in 1 week and then the next week it sounds better. And I'm realizing how people hear, a straight guy talking about dating. I can understand why it can be off-putting and getting used to that. And then we started the show and I remember being like, we did the first episode where we're getting dating questions. And I'm like, man, I'm in the center of the bullseye for like, young women who want to hear a guy's perspective, maybe. Right. And I remember thinking, I am going to get the most angry DMs in the entire... Like, I was like, because I'm being honest. But I'm also... But I remember the vulnerability aspect, and I've only really gotten a couple mad DMs from things I've said on that podcast. Right. Like, the majority are like, thank you. Like, I'm happy this was just said. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the... Same thing with this person. They're going to go, oh, no, thank you for, like, getting ahead. I do like to know where I'm going. Yeah. You have a fucking obstacle course to get into your fucking bathroom. I want to know about it.
I like to know where I'm going. Yeah, it's true.
JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Emily Wilson. She's coming to London. She's coming to San Francisco at The Real Emily Wilson. Go follow on Instagram. We're sponsored. Dipsy. What's your love language? Physical touch? Time with your partner? People get turned on in all sorts of ways. Dipsy has invented a whole new love language. Sexy stories for whatever mood you're in. Dipsy is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women. I love this. Wow. It's a fantastic idea. Bringing scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and realistic characters, you'll discover stories about second chance romances, adventurous vacation flings, and hot and heavy hookups. Dipsy has stories for straight and queer listeners, and 56% of stories are voice acted by people of color. Listen to stories voiced by Sarunas J. Jackson, ER Fightmaster, and Luke Cook. New content is released every week, so you can always find something new to explore. They also have soothing sleep stories, wellness sessions, and sexy stories you can read. I gotta say,
that sounds
This is a great idea. Here's why. Here's the, I like to find the thing in the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I like to find the reason, if you're someone that's like new to the world of physicality with a partner and sex and stuff, this is like a fun way to like learn a little bit more of a reality base. It's not like a porno.
Yeah.
This is like they're telling stories. So maybe these are stories that maybe you could bring to your partner. Maybe you can open up your mind to things that you didn't know were hot and sexy to you. JTrain listeners, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/JTrain. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/JTrain. dipseastories.com/JTrain. Sometimes I see a sponsor and I go, this is good for the listenership.
Yeah.
That is one I think is going to be good for everyone that listens. What a great idea for you. And again, I like to include the partner in that because now it's like, if you're like, I don't know what I like.
Yeah.
Let's start with stories in a, in a non, you can like imagine it first.
Yeah.
I'm
a reader.
Husband won't unfollow Instagram models.
Ooh.
Jared, looking for the male perspective as I don't have a male friend to check in with and would rather keep my brothers out of it. Yeah, I think, okay. I get that. My female friends have had varying responses. I know I need to eventually let go of this, but I'm struggling to do so. I've been with my husband for 5 years. Had a baby in 2021. I've always implicitly trusted him and have never had an issue with him watching porn. However, in November 2022, so this is recent. I happened to glance over at his phone, and the same moment he was checking out a lewd bikini pic from a hot Instagram model right next to me. This sent me spiraling, as I have been feeling insecure about my body after giving birth, even after getting back to my original weight. For reference, I am a slim brunette who is a size 2, no curves. I decided to take a stroll through who he follows on Instagram and found that he follows 50-plus Instagram models. 90% of these accounts are braless, blonde, busty women, sometimes with huge asses, sometimes not. Sometimes not.
Sometimes not. Not all of them, but
Guy's got, he's all over the board. Okay. I have never and will never look at these women without multiple plastic surgeries. I have never and will never look like these women. Look like these women without multiple plastic surgeries. Seeing his preferences made me feel like an unattractive, gross troll. Why would he want to be with someone that looks like me if this is not what he prefers? Am I plan B? I brought it up to him, told him I feel less than, and do not like that he follows so many of them. He said it's fine for him to follow them. It's not like real life. It's not real life. He doesn't jerk off to pictures. He just saw boobies and clicked follow. That's a quote.
That is great.
Every man should use that as their
boobies and clicked follow.
That is actually
so simple.
That is closer to reality than people want to believe. I just saw boobies and clicked follow.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up here. Boobies. Yeah, that's a very on the like, what do I believe? What do I not believe? That I believe the most of all.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that he's not jerking off to these pictures. We're somewhere in between the two.
Yeah, I believe they could be the pregame to the actual jerking off.
I like that.
We'll
the
see.
pregame.
It's like what gets him to actually go on RedTube.
Right, the fluffer, so to speak. Yeah. He has continued to double, triple, and quadruple down that he will not unfollow them. And I shouldn't be concerned because they would never date someone like me. Not the best languaging on his part. That's not how you want to put it.
No.
Hey, are you following Instagram models? Well, it's not like they would date me.
Yeah.
You think
it's not
they
like
would?
I have a shot. Do you think I do? It's so easy to just not to word things better. So, but okay.
We're talking about a guy who said, I just saw boobies and clicked follow.
Yeah. True,
I don't know if this guy.
Yeah.
It is so funny. You say something and it comes out of your mouth. You want to grab the words and bring them back and go, I didn't want to say it that way. Yeah, he won with just saw boobies and click follow. I was like, that one you got lucky.
Yeah. That was a good accident.
Right. This one, it's not like they're going to date me.
Yeah.
Do you think Big Butt 55 is going to date me?
Yeah.
He said he does not use OnlyFans. Okay, why did he even bring that up? Or maybe she brought it up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I hope he didn't bring that up.
Yeah, So obviously on it, deleting his account as he says that.
She writes, he said he does not use OnlyFans, free or paid. Okay, I didn't know that there was two different versions.
Free OnlyFans.
It's like, I don't use OnlyFans, free or paid.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know this much about OnlyFans? They have free versions. They have a free view. They have like the Crash Bandicoot test game.
That means he's done the free trial.
Yeah, he knows more than me at this point, and I'm not even lying. I'm not. Does not reach out to these women or talk to any other women online. He knows my biggest fear is being cheated on. Said he hasn't cheated in the past, isn't actively cheating, or planning to cheat. I know you can't know everything about your partner, but this one has me left feeling crazy because these are real individual women versus watching porn. That's kind of a tough. I kind of disagree with that perspective, right?
Yeah.
The people in porn are real women, but I guess. I guess
I
you're
don't
not
know
like,
if I think that they are.
Right. Maybe they're doing a character.
Yeah.
I guess with porn, you're not like following
a person.
Right,
you're watching a video of them on a site.
But I'm sorry to break it to her. You could like follow like a porn account
star,
or a star, or even just a character actor. You know, like it doesn't have to be a star.
Right. Even a mid porn actress you could follow.
I mean, to some, that's like that.
To
might
say
be
star
their kink.
might be an overhead. Yeah.
I like the up and comers.
The ones breaking into the scene.
I know you can't. Real individual women versus just watching porn. I am desperate to snoop on his phone and see if he's being honest and know know this is a dark path. Am I too sensitive? Is he just a dick who's choosing to look at hot women on Instagram, not knowing it upsets me? Some additional context. Oh wow, she's got a lot here. I feel confident this is not new behavior, but no way to confirm. Yes, people find people outside their partners attractive. We have a 1-year-old daughter.
Yeah, that really is.
Guys with 1-year-old daughters masturbate to other women too. Okay, I hate to break it to her. We have been having sex 2 times a week since I was cleared to do so after giving birth, so not having sex isn't the issue. Okay, there's an account simply called boobs.
Oh my God.
dudes. I mean, he's following boobs.
Yeah. I have thoughts, but I want to hear the rest of it.
Yeah. There's an account simply called boobs.
That's great.
A handful of these women are 18 to 20 years old, and he is a 40-year-old man. I mean, she's really making this tough for me to defend, but I mean,
but this is also like kind of leading journalist. She's kind of like leading us to our opinion.
She's leading but that's why I kind of disagree with her. Like what she's doing right now is making something that is
impossible to defend.
Yeah. And also something that is prevalent with like everyone, you know, like I don't. First of all, 18 to 20 years old and he's 40. I mean, like that's the age group. It's like, would it be better if it was like 50? I don't know. I understand what she's saying, but she's creating this world. Like she's making him more disgusting than he is even thinking of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like in his mind, he's like, I go watch porn.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like he's not checking the and I'm saying like, I think most people watch porn assuming they're watching the right ages and they're not doing the wrong thing, you know, like, but this is, it's like, it's almost like seeing how the hot dogs are made. It's like, I don't get into that.
Just let me eat it.
Right. And he said he's a 40-year-old man. I asked why he had to follow women so young. And he goes, but are they really that young? Or is that just what their profiles say? Bad answer from him.
But he's got a point.
He has a point.
It's true.
That is fair.
A lot of actresses lie about their age too.
It's a good point. And also, it's as long as it's legal, of course.
Yeah.
Like that's what porn is for the most part. I don't know. Maybe 50% of these accounts are braless blondes doing sports moves, like throwing a football. Oh, he's got a thing.
Yeah.
He is an avid sports fan, and these I care less about. I think it's really funny how niche the sexual appeal is. Well, maybe you got to buy a couple footballs and let's get out in the field. I checked out a lot of friends' partners following habits. Oh, now now the husbands of the friends are going to get in trouble.
Getting a sample size.
Right. Following habits, and almost all of them follow 1, 2, maybe 3 Instagram models, but nothing close to the number of my husband. Okay, so what do you think?
Is that it?
That's it. That's what we got. This is a very thorough email. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think
the context does help.
It does count, but it is an issue that women tend to write in about on different varying levels. This to me is a more thorough examination of the issue than most. Usually it's like, my boyfriend follows a bunch of Instagram models.
What do I do?
What do I do?
Yeah, this is like, we've got dates, we've got details, we've got themes of the accounts, butt sizes. We have everything here to really work with.
We got the friends.
Yeah.
Husbands getting in trouble. These guys are like, what the fuck? I follow a couple of guys. So what do you think, Emily Wilson?
I have been in a situation before, not this exact one, but I have like gone down spirals a couple times with this sort of situation in the past. And I feel like this is going to sound unfeminist of me, or maybe it's not.
I think it's. Go ahead, say what you got to say.
I feel like at a certain point, it's just like I've accepted that like men are this way, and it's actually as simple as I saw boobies and followed them,
right?
And that means it's that shallow. Like there's not depth to it. I don't think this husband has like you said. I don't think he's thinking about it beyond like what makes the blood go downstairs. Like I think it's like it's so you're the one he loves, you're the one he married, you're the one he had a kid with, and like I think most of the time it's just like it's not deep.
It's not that deep. She's made a lot of things deeper than I've ever like even the thing of the age where she's like he's a 40-year-old man. These women are 18 to 20 years old. It's like it's not that deep to him. Right. And again, like this goes off the cliff into like illegal activity, and I'm not talking about that. No. I'm saying men look at hot young women.
Right. That's many Instagram naked models are probably under the age of 25.
Fine. And also we don't know he does bring up what you said, a good point of who knows what their ages are. Right. They're just hot women to me. Yeah. It's not like he's looking at going, well, I only get hard to women from ages this to this. He's going, hot woman, I see boobies, I follow. Right. Here's the other thing. When you ask a man what his type is, he never has a type. He never admits to a type. He'll say boobs, ass, but he never says, I have this type, because men like the whole charcuterie board.
Well, I also don't really believe in types. I feel like having a type is like, why? Right. Only that?
Well, that's kind of my point. The only reason I brought it up, right? Don't you want to like a little poo-poo platter? Try it out? But the only reason I bring that up is like her point that like they don't look like her. And it's like, yeah, this is fantasy world for him. I think that's like a bigger part of this is like he goes to fantasy, Imagination Island, and he's got his like women throwing footballs and bikinis around, right? And then he's with the person he loves and enjoys you too. Both can be, the amount he follows that can be built up over time. Here's the other problem. Your Instagram, it used to be you had the magazines under the pillow or under the bed, and you had your nudie magazines under that in that one little dirty spot of your house, and then you had. You have the real mail come in and the Victoria's Secret catalog. So there was separation between sexual fantasy and your everyday. Like you had Sports Illustrated and you had porno magazines. Yeah. Now you have Instagram where it's all in one place. And Twitter.
Have you checked his Twitter?
Don't give her any
Twitter
ideas.
Porn is crazy.
Don't check your neighbor's Twitters for your husbands. But do you know what I mean? Like where it is a little gross. I can understand because there's like
it's so integrated,
right?
But what I will say, because I feel like I sound harsh. I totally empathize with this person because it is a dark place that you can quickly spiral down. Totally. I'm speaking from a place of like you almost never gain anything or feel any resolution the further down you go and the more you press him. Right. I do think it's a little unfortunate that he's like extremely insisting I will not unfollow and that there are 50 plus. But it's like
indefensible. You follow 50 plus. Can you get rid of some? And then it becomes this. I think it becomes this. Well, you're not going to tell me what to do, and I've done nothing wrong.
Yes, and unfortunately, that I don't like to be told, what I can and can't do on my own time, and I think it is about like feeling a sense of independence. And I think, speaking from experience, if you try and like trick yourself, even like affirmations, whatever, trick yourself into thinking like, I don't care, it's not a big deal, I don't care, you will feel happier, you will feel more confident, and that will actually, he will feel that. Right. And it maybe not that he needs to look at them but it'll go away if you tell yourself it doesn't matter.
Here's something she didn't write. And I think this might help her because I agree with you.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable. Yeah. This isn't fun. This isn't fun to see that your partner is lusting for something that doesn't look like, I don't know if it would be better like if it was like your friend that looked like you. Would you be happier?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
And so
it's good that they look so unrealistic. It's like good. It's not rooted in any real desire for connection with a human. It's just like truly I like boobies.
He's not following their poetry accounts.
No. That would be concerning.
Right. I just really connect with her on an intellectual
her words,
level.
her boobs, her medium butt. It's all hitting.
It doesn't even matter to me.
Yeah.
Here's what she didn't write that I actually think is a positive.
Okay.
She didn't write that he likes their posts. She didn't write that he DMs them. He doesn't write fire emojis to their... she did look through these things. It's not like she saw him in the comments section being like, love this one.
Right.
Like, and if you are seeing that, this is where I think the line of delineation
Yes,
is
I
made.
completely agree.
It's like you can be a quiet observer and go to Fantasyland when you go there and do your thing because you have the right to do that too. She could be following guy accounts or going, Dipsy, we just did the ad.
Yeah.
You can go to your mental place and think of Fabio on the beach rubbing your titties. Fine.
Yeah.
Great. But if the minute he starts liking and commenting and responding, to me, that's where it changes.
Yeah, totally.
That's to me when you're trying to form a relationship with a person.
Yeah, you want them to see that you like them.
Right.
There's
no good reason to do that.
No.
I can't understand a reason to like thumbs up some Instagram model's account. I do think it's nice to like, if you're following, you're quietly supporting. A quiet thumbs up is different than a loud emoji in the comments. So I think if he's not doing that, this is all in the land of fantasy, and you should kind of I find a way to let it go. Here's my other thing. It sounds like, you're having sex twice a week, which is nice, but like maybe let's go to our fantasy land let's find a fantasy land that we can go to together.
Yeah.
Let's have our thing. You have your thing, I have my thing, and now let's try and find our thing. Like I think that would be a helpful, healthier way to go than, hey, stop. Like right now when you're like unfollow the accounts, like you're the conservative one.
Right.
Right. And
right,
he's
right.
the guy who likes sex, and you're always coming down on me about sex stuff, and it makes you not someone who I would assume you don't want to be. You don't want to be the we shall not in this house.
Yeah,
like I'm sure you
yeah.
want to be fun and flirty and sexy with your husband.
Yeah.
Let's find the place you guys can both go to. And I do think, I mean, this is like I hate to be redoing the ad, like the Dipsy ad.
Yeah.
Kind of speaks to that. Like, hey, let's go. Hey, you go on this app. I'm going to go to this app. You find something you like. I'm going to find something I like.
Yeah.
And then we can exchange.
Yeah.
How about I'll listen to yours. You listen to mine. You tell me. And then now you're kind of talking. But I think if he's not liking, he's not, commenting. And
you know what? I'm actually going to say, even if he's liking, I don't think that's, I think it's a little forgivable.
Liking is more forgivable than commenting and DM, like responding to stories.
Yes. I think it's an unfortunate part of our, like, we have reached this point with technology. It's integrated. Like, a lot of straight men will like and follow women with conventionally attractive, and like I don't think it's as deep as we can allow it to be in our heads.
I mean, thank God you haven't looked at his Explore page.
Yeah.
I mean, those are just versions of what he's looking at too.
Yeah.
It's so gross. But like here, it is funny. It's like this, like the more of technology we get and like, you have to also take with it the bad parts of it. So it's like, look at Instagram shows me things I want to purchase and my favorite influencers and my favorite sports athletes and also big boobs.
Yeah.
And it's like,
true.
It's hard. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Emily Wilson at The Real Emily Wilson. Go follow. Gonna be in London in March. Mm-hmm. San Francisco in February. It's all on your website. You have a website?
Yes. So
go to our website. Go. The show at the Red Room?
Yeah, Tuesdays at the Red Room.
It's a great show. I really do think, like, that's one of those things you go, oh, cool. I'm doing New York-y stuff without, like, being in Times Square.
Thanks. I'm glad I create that environment.
It's good. Hinge, Yoga, Crush, Fumble. Good evening, JTrain, and hot guest.
Wow. Thank you.
You came in strong.
Appreciate that.
I ran into my yoga studio crush on Hinge, and I think I came on too strong and blew it. I attached the exchange for reference. Can I come back from this over Hinge? Should I say anything if I see her in person, or just be cool and move past it? For background, I've only seen her twice at the studio. I don't go very often. Both times I felt like we eye-fucked. Okay.
Nice.
You might have come on strong. Okay, could be my narcissism in hindsight. Thanks for your help. I clearly need all the advice I can get. So I have the screenshot. Beautiful woman. We can see her Hinge profile. He has responded to it.
Okay, it's man. Okay.
So this is a dude, it seems like. So he saw her picture, and then he wrote to it, "This is weird, but do you do hot yoga at blank blank?" Okay. So, hey, I like the opening line.
Yeah.
Acknowledged, I'm the one seeing you, recognizing you.
Yes.
Let me be vulnerable. This is weird. I get it. Okay. But do you do hot yoga at blank and blank? And she wrote, yes, question mark, exclamation point. That seems like a good first sign.
Okay.
And then he writes, he did come in hot. You're low-key my gym crush. Ha, ha, ha.
Ooh.
I'm dead after 90-minute hot yoga and haven't had the chance to talk to you yet. And then a clenched teeth emoji. What do you think of that entrance? She hasn't answered to that.
You did come on strong. I do think that was your low-key my, yeah. You know.
Would you be scared away from that?
A little bit. I would be.
Would it depend on whether you were attracted to them or not? Because there's this thing of like, if you were like, into it, it's not creepy. Not into it, it's creepy. Like, I think that kind of, sometimes people get carried away with that kind of theme, but I do think he put all his cards on the table and she was just like, I'm going to fold, it seems like.
Yeah. It's I guess she hasn't responded in days. I would assume it was just like a total
I'm assuming he
non-response.
didn't email us an hour
later. Yeah. Yeah, right. I would say to let it, I think you got to let it cool off and give it like a couple of weeks.
Right.
And if you go back to yoga and you see her there, it might look like you're looking for her.
Right.
So
it's hard because crush could be, for him, you're my low-key gym crush, ha ha.
Right.
To him, he might be like, well, I've seen her twice, I just think you're hot.
Yeah.
And to her, crush is like, I've been pining after you, I have a doll made of your hair.
Right,
right. It goes over the spectrum of crush. And I'm sure, and especially when you write something like that, I can understand. This does come from a good place. I do understand that he's like, I'm trying to give a compliment, but like, I can understand for her, she's like, I don't even remember this guy.
Yeah.
I don't have any reference for where.
And now I can't go do yoga anymore because I have to worry that this guy's going to be there.
Right.
Maybe that's what she's thinking.
I think the only way to come back from it is like, I guess you get one shot to come back from this.
Yes, you
get one message more.
Yeah.
It's like the minute 2, 3, 4, now you're in like weird territory. Like I think if he wrote back, hey, I think I came on a little too strong. Totally understand if you're not into talking to me, but just want to say, how was your weekend, and kind of start over. Yeah. Maybe. I would see, I've seen friends in this position before where they have to like send a double thing. I would like at least give it a week or two. Okay. Like definitely give it a long time. And when you come back, I would just get to the point and be forward of like, can I take you out? Like, right. Like let's make you. Could I take you to lunch? No. Yeah. Just immediately like could I buy you a drink? Like. So would you say like, because I think there's a combination of the two, like where it goes, hey, sorry if I came on a little too strong. I'd love to get you a drink sometime if you're up for it. Yeah, I think you just got to be careful to be like, because he already started with this might be weird, but right, and then he was like, you're my like. I think you got to avoid like qualifications. Like I don't think you should be like, and I know now this is kind of weird. Like I would like that seems wishy-washy. I would just be like, can I take? I respond well to like to the point aggression, and I feel like if she's already giving a one-word answer, and then he responded with 4 lines of text, I would actually just come back 2 weeks later like, could I buy you a drink? Could I buy you lunch? Okay, so just come straight in. Hey, that's my advice. I hear it. I'm with you. I guess the only reason, like, I trust your opinion on it because I'm looking at her. I'm like, yeah, cute yoga. Does yoga. Like, what could you ask? I mean, I'm assuming she's getting a lot of weird, like, and that's the other thing. I just assume that every woman on dating apps is just getting weirdness. A ton of, and so it's like, I can understand where he falls into the bucket of another weird dude watching me at yoga. Right. Which he's not. Yeah. And he may have had the best of intentions. Yeah. So he's like, how do I save it? I do understand where it's like, hey, Yeah, and if it's still a match, like you can unmatch people. So she didn't unmatch, so I guess like the door is still open.
The door's still open. But I do think with like too much word, it's like I would feel like Ted Bundy vibes if someone was like over like. And now I realize it's like, okay, he watches me at yoga. He's timed out this response, like which we are timing the response out.
Right.
But then if you come in with something like hot and confident, done.
Right, and
I'm going.
And then the explanation could maybe be made on the date. Hey, you know, I know my first message was a little much.
Right.
Maybe. Like, and then so like, hey, would love to get you a drink sometime. Boom.
Boom.
No,
I would
I
like,
love
okay.
you. No, and maybe even drop your number. Hey, we'd love to give you a drink.
Here's my number if you're interested.
Here's my number if you're down.
That. Oh my God. If I saw that, I'd be like texting right away. Right. I'm going to get a drink. It's cool.
Also, the number thing gets you out of the game of like, well, now we're just chit chatting on an app. Like, hey, I'm so confident I want to take you out. Here's the number. We're good to go.
Oh my God! Now I want to go. Yeah, that's the move.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with the real Emily Wilson on Instagram. Go follow. Dropping the DJ, not the beat.
Oh,
Papa JT, been a long-time listener. I want to thank you for all the advice and therapy over the years. My friend and I have tickets to see you in Toronto. Well, that already happened. Thank you for coming. Here's my issue. My partner and I are starting to plan our wedding together.
Wow.
Here is the thing. I've been to many of their family weddings, and I have to say the dance floor is always dull and dead. I love dancing, but I hate dancing at his family events. Why? Because the DJ sucks. He's an older guy that plays too many oldies and not enough bops. There's an issue. The DJ is his cousin.
Oh no!
Hey, this is bad.
This is not good.
You don't fit. Do not mix family with business.
No, you don't. I was gonna say, why are they hiring the same DJ?
Right. No, he's the family DJ.
Mm-hmm.
The dance floor is super important to me. Every wedding I've ever had a good time at, dance floor is blasting songs we can all scream the lyrics to. My partner has never noticed this as an issue because music and dancing isn't really important to him. How do I convince my partner to nicely ditch his cousin? Also, if we decided to not use his cousin, how can we do this without making anyone feel bad? I thought about lying and saying the DJ we hire is a friend of mine. I'm not sure though. What do you think? Thanks, Jared. Ready to drop the DJ, not the beat. I love this email. This is in the zone of this podcast. It's family, it's love, it's business, it's dancing, it's what do you think, Emily Wilson? What does she do?
I think you tell them it's someone you know and that they had asked. Well, I think you can be honest with your partner that you're planning the wedding with and be like, look, I'm going to come out and say honesty is the best policy.
Right.
And I think your partner, if you're marrying them, they should be able to handle that like their cousin is not the best DJ, I think, unless it's like their cousin that saved their life when they jumped in a river when they were 7 or something. So I think
he saved my life. Now he's got to bring the beats.
Yeah. Now we make him play every wedding.
Right.
I would tell your partner, be like, I really care about music. This is like, right. Because if you're saying they don't care that much about music and dancing, then you are allowed to be like, well, I do. So I think you should tell your partner, and then I think you should plan to have your partner tell your cousin that it's a friend of yours that really wants to DJ the wedding.
Man, this is tough because I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think lying and not a hybrid lie truth thing is the way to go.
Yes.
You do need to team up with your partner. This is your first time lying as a couple, which is a very magical and beautiful moment.
Yeah, it could really open new doors.
Right. This is a time for you two to come together to get rid of this cousin. Because the cousin, they ain't DJing. You're going to be mad. This is your day.
Yeah.
You deserve the day that you want. And I think I think it starts with maybe let's write a top 10 things that matter to us at the wedding. Like, because that's where the division of your money comes in, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you put your top 5 and he put his top 5, his number 1 might be cocktail hour food.
Wow, which is important.
Which is important.
Very
Your
important.
number 1 might be music.
And maybe it's not actually, but in this case, you're going to make it.
Right, well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If this is because of the nature of the family, the cousin, you kind of have to like let go of some other thing.
Yeah.
You have to like be like, this is where I'm putting my concentration in to save the wedding.
Well, and you can't have a dull dance floor.
No.
Weddings are about the dance floor.
Right. So maybe it starts with you make a top 5, I make a top 5. Now at the top of yours is music. Now that gets you on the subject with your partner. Okay, what are we going to do about the music?
Yeah.
Is that my decision? And then he can go, yeah, but we're going to have my cousin. Then you go, I got to talk to you about your cousin.
Well, yeah, because
that
also
opens up the conversation.
The fact that the cousin is assumed maybe
Right.
means they do have some kind of bond.
Sure.
Like that it wasn't even a conversation. It's like, well, obviously my cousin's going to do it. It's
Right.
like, oh no. So now you have to let your partner know.
Well, this is what gets the conversation rolling. You can't start at, I fucking hate your cousin. He sucks at his job.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
So I think like if you make that top 5 list, it might make it easier to like, okay, and he has cocktail hour food. The problem comes if music is at the top of both their lists, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
No, but if that is the case, I would go to the cousin and say, I love what you do. I've been at all the weddings. It's so fun. Gas him up. And then be like, it is my wedding. I'm wondering, like, I like these artists and these genres. Could you mix that in?
Right.
If the cousin's a no, it's like a deal breaker.
But here's the problem I have with that. I that's a very fair way to go about it, and that's kind of the side door way around it. But you know whose problem that becomes? Her problem.
Yeah.
She's got to think about that at her whole wedding. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad?
Yeah.
She's going to be anxious about it.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be her day.
Yeah.
And you got this old cousin.
Oh, I feel bad for the cousin now.
I actually hate the cousin. I could never.
Oh, but he DJs
cousin,
all the weddings. He clearly wishes that's.
Do they pay him? Is it free?
I hope they pay him. He's working.
This is the thing. This guy's got a whole industry off this family because he sucks at his job. They're keeping this artist afloat who shouldn't be doing their job because they should be out of the business.
Yeah, but I just feel for him.
Shelby will do the wedding. He's volunteered himself as tribute for free. You do it for free. Look at that.
I feel bad for the cousin.
Hey, we found someone to do it for free. Sorry, cousin Bob.
Yeah,
you're out.
Ugh.
What's that? It'll be good?
You know his name is Bob.
Wait, Shelby, you do DJing on the side.
Do you?
I could if I wanted to.
You could if you wanted to. We learn something new about Shelby once a month. And this is one of those moments I think we've learned a new Shelby. We need a sound drop, Shelby bomb.
Just pay for either the hotel or the flight.
Pay for the hotel or the flight. Whatever, the cheaper of the two.
Pay for the more expensive one. Yeah.
Shelby, you might be a good DJ, not a good negotiator. I think I could get you more for this.
You shouldn't lose money on doing it.
You could prove yourself. This is where it would happen. The best taste. Shelby. I mean,
Shelby versus cousin.
Here we
got to
go.
do a DJ off.
If the listener is out there and hears this, Shelby is open for business. Email jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. I think whether it's Shelby or someone else, it can't be the cousin.
No, can't be the cousin.
Cousin's
Although
out.
send the cousin my love.
Here's the other. Yeah,
I feel for the cousin.
We wish the best for the cousin. They should start driving Uber. This isn't the career for them. I think
the fact that they do all the weddings tells you they really love it.
Right, but it tells you that they have the family on a chokehold, and everyone feels too awkward. She is a non-biased. She is a non-biased participant. She is at these weddings going, what the fuck is happening on this dance floor? And it's like, and the whole family is probably like, oh, this is the music they play. And here's the other thing. We know this with jokes. You know how you get a laugh? A surprise.
Yeah.
It's same with dancing. You know how you get people out of their seats? They're surprised by what the take is. They've probably heard the same fucking playlist at every fucking wedding.
Earth, Wind, and Fire can only take you so far, buddy.
Right.
Although Earth, Wind, and Fire is good.
There's no fire being lit under your family.
Maybe the family would thank you for changing the DJ. Yeah.
I actually think
you're the secret hero of your own wedding.
This cousin is ruining this family. I just think I hate this cousin because they're just getting a handout.
Yeah.
So
DJing a wedding is huge. You can't just assume.
Right. And look at Shelby coming in hot. He's like, I'll do it. I
respect it.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Emily Wilson at the Real Emily Wilson.
Yeah,
go follow. We got one more. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Shelby, got time for one more? I love this one. We've had these emails this week.
These are
Let me
great.
just tell the listeners, great job. thorough, specific. We're in these family issues. The cousin DJ. Oh my God.
I love it. These are log lines. These are brilliant.
Brilliant emails. Keep sending them in. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Last one. Cookies and cocktail, not cookies and milk. Jared and Shelby, all the feathers. I'm writing to you as I just got a text regarding an event my boyfriend and I are hosting, cookies and cocktails, at our rental house this weekend. Okay, so I'm assuming they have a rental property. They're going to invite their friends for cookies and cocktails. Okay. We gave everyone an open invite to stay the night since we have the room and they live kind of far. Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
So you and your boyfriend made this like cool special night. You invited other couples, cookies and cocktails, be there. We got the bedding. We got everything.
What's a rental? Like an Airbnb?
I guess this is like an Airbnb, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm assuming when you write rental house, I'm assuming they have their own house and then they have this rental property that probably isn't being rented by Airbnb. So they rented out their own Airbnb.
Oh, it's their house that they rent out. Okay.
I was under the impression, especially during the winter time, I'm sure maybe they have like a beach rental that they use to make some extra dough. So then they're like, wintertime, no one's renting it. We're going to go out there. Come. We can, get drunk, whatever. Okay.
Right.
I was under the impression the parents of the group understood that this was an adults-only event. However, 48 hours prior to the event, one couple texts that we will have that they will not... One couple texts that they will have their not one, not two, but 3 children because they can't find a sitter. Mind you, this event was planned 2 months ago, and the other parents seem to have made arrangements in time to have a sitter for a few hours / overnight. Am I wrong for thinking maybe they should have said, sorry, we can't make it because we can't find a sitter. We'll catch you next time. Of course, we said they could come, but no offense, I don't always feel like having to hang out with your kids every single time we get together as a group. Looking for advice on if I should be more explicit about wanting to hang out with just adults and no children, or if this just is how adulting is. Thanks, y'all are the best. Always keep me giggling. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if I'm the best person for this because I am still in the phase of my life where I don't know how to talk to kids.
Right.
I don't know how to be around kids. I can't. I ruined Santa for my boyfriend's youngest brother. I did. I don't know how to communicate with them. So I'm so on the team of like, no kids. And again, I'm going to come in and say honesty is the best policy. I think it's totally fine to tell these people, like, I would have appreciated if you, or maybe not I would have appreciated, no need to sound passive. I think you could say, next time, maybe it might be nice to just have the adults. Because I think you'll also be saving these people. What if other people feel this way about them too? What if they're known as the annoying couple who always brings their kids?
3 kids?
That's a lot of kids.
3 kids to a house that I'm assuming you've invited other people to. There's not just room for 3 kids.
No.
Hold on.
It's bold. This is bold of them to just throw the kids on this event 48 hours before.
Here's the mistake they're making already. When they write, no offense, I don't always feel like having to hang out with your kids every single time we get together as a group. Okay, if that is not true, then you are losing this argument.
Right.
If they bring their 3 kids every single time, you can say that.
Yeah.
But if they don't, if even once they didn't bring their kids,
you can't say that.
They are going to say you're exaggerating. This is you being dramatic.
Yeah.
You need to stay in reality. The reality, you're right. Mm-hmm. You had an event called Cookies and Cocktails. Okay, you invited people 48 hours prior to the event. They spring on you. Hey, we're bringing our 3 kids. They are wrong. They are rude.
That's
okay?
wrong.
You can't go to an extreme to make your point. This is a very internet thing that we do now.
Yeah.
On the internet, everyone goes to the moral high ground so that they win the battle.
Right.
But that doesn't work in real life with people. Like that works in a comment section. Yeah, you can sound like a hero all you want, but you'll have no friends.
Yeah.
These are real people. These are your friends. This is something where you want to hang out with them again. Mm-hmm. Tonight, this ain't the weekend for us.
Yeah.
And I would say to them, hey, we don't have room for 3 kids.
Yeah, maybe say, although I'm assuming they have already answered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this is but if I were them, my message to them would be like, hey, I understand you can't get a sitter. That sucks.
Yeah.
Life sucks. Life's unfair. We don't have room for 3 kids.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because we don't have the room for 3 kids. I don't want to feel uncomfortable because I can't provide for 3 kids.
Yeah.
And I don't want everyone else to feel uncomfortable.
Oh,
because
that's true. You got to feed them.
Right. You got to
feed these kids.
You got to put them in a bed. They don't even want this. The couple that's coming, you want to sleep in bed with 3 kids like you're the grandparents from Willy Wonka? What's going on?
Yeah.
None of us want this. You're forcing it. You're forcing it. And my dad always said you can never repeat. Like he would always say, like, if you had a good time on vacation, don't do the same vacation twice because you're always going to compare it to the last vacation.
Yeah.
This is a version of that.
Right.
This is a version of forcing it. This is like, well, we can't go to the cookie party because we can't get a sitter, but we'll just bring everyone so we can go to the cookie party. It's like, so now you've become a terrorist for the cookie party. Yeah. You've blown it up. Right?
Yeah. Also, it's like, maybe I'm concerned for this family because if they so desperately need this cookie party that they are even bringing their kids, it's like, maybe fix what's going on with you.
Right.
That a cookie party you can't miss, so you're bringing all your children.
Right. And I agree. The marriage is in trouble. It's a great point, Emily.
Things are going on at home.
Their marriage is in trouble. They are having an issue. They need to find a sitter that's more reliable.
Yeah.
This is and here's how you
Shelby?
learn. Shelby? You DJ'd? You babysit?
You babysit?
No, he doesn't like kids.
I don't
Okay,
blame
well,
you.
Shelby, listen.
Music's more fun.
I like that Shelby was confident on DJ, was willing. This makes me more confident in Shelby's DJ.
Yeah.
Because he was willing to relent on something he knows he can't do.
Exactly.
This couple, I would say to them, hey, we'll chalk it up.
Yeah.
They need to feel what happens when they don't have a sitter.
Yeah.
Because now they'll
Right.
be more prepared for next time. Like, people we have lost this thing. You can't have it all.
No.
You're not going to have it all. You're not bringing your kids. They're not bringing their Barney doll. They're not bringing their cookies and their milk. We're having a cookies and cocktail party. We are here to have a fun time. We are out of being kids. We get one fucking weekend. We work all week. And now you're making us work with your kids? No.
No. Now I'm pissed. I'm pissed at this couple.
Pissed. I hate them. I hope they get divorced. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Emily Wilson, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
This was fantastic.
This is great.
Everyone go follow Emily at The Real Emily Wilson. Her show is called Fixed. It is coming to San Francisco. It's coming to London. You can go to her website, get tickies, assemble the group chat. I've watched Emily perform. Fantastic, hilarious, wonderful. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. We'll be back next episode. Boom.